today, happy to introduce Ben Ashby, a Spanish teacher for Zeeland Public Schools and an online Spanish instructor for Michigan Virtual. He's been teaching face-to-face for 16 years and online for 13 years. I didn't know we had online teaching for 13 years. And he joins us on the program. Hi, Ben.
How you doing?
Glad to have you with us.
Good, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I hear that you're kind of famous on YouTube, at least in the middle school world. Tell us about how you started making some Spanish music videos for students.
Well, Mitch, I'm sure we've all kind of had that moment, where you kind of get a song stuck in your head, right? And you just got these lyrics, you're kind of humming them and that sort of thing. And I just think, music just has a way of kind of getting into your head and getting into your soul a little bit. And there's been quite a few studies actually done where they've had, kids come in or even adults come in and try to learn different Spanish vocabulary, and they had it set up where they'd learn it with different methods. And the music method of learning vocabulary in these studies came out number one. So I've always, loved music and always been kind of a big part of my life. And so when I started teaching about 15 years ago, I just started taking, popular songs that I knew students would connect to and just kind of made my own lyrics and sang them or rapped them to, teach the content that I was trying to teach, which is Spanish. And so it's been pretty successful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What's the most popular song/video?
Man, I got a few out there, on my YouTube channel where I've got, kind of shows the kids in my classroom up and dancing and doing the movements that go with the song. Just recently, I made a video called the Senior Ashby Shuffle. Made it one day after school, where I'm kind of teaching, movement vocabulary, right, left, forward, and I'm kind of up doing a dance. And then I threw that on TikTok and challenged my students to try to see if we can get it trending on TikTok. So if you hashtag Senior Ashby Shuffle on TikTok, you'll see a bunch of kids doing that song. It was kind of fun.
You've been teaching online for about 13 years. First of all, how has that changed from when it started and in terms of its acceptance now? And then how does it affect the way you actually teach when you're face-to-face in a classroom?
Yeah, it's interesting because this school year has been so crazy with remote learning and hybrid learning. And so I think, this year there's been a lot of acceptance from teachers, just kind of seeing some of the benefits of different aspects of the online learning. So I think there's been a lot of skeptics up until this year. And I think, you can kind of see where you have a student who might be struggling to stick with the teacher in a live setting. But if they're doing that learning kind of on their own, they can kind of pause the video and rewind and rewatch. But definitely, I definitely integrate a lot of what I've done as an online instructor into my face-to-face classroom.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty remarkable. And I know you even host a competition every year, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Locura de Marzo. What does that mean?
So Locura de Marzo, yeah. So it's like March Madness. I'm a big sports fan as well. And so I wanted to do a March Madness tournament for Spanish music. And so what I did was I started this about 5 years ago. I took 16 popular, Spanish songs that, might be on the radio in Spain or Mexico or wherever. And then I put them in a bracket, and then the students listen to the songs, and then they vote. And the cool part was I threw it out about 5 years ago to kind of my social media following, to other Spanish teachers. I said, hey, my classes are doing this. Here's where you can vote. Why don't we do it all together? And so this past March, we averaged about 60,000 students kind of across the world voting on each round. So that was kind of cool.
Wow.
And we had every state represented in the country. So that was kind of neat. There's a map on my website showing where all the schools are from. And I think we had 11 or 12 different countries represented. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, this is as big as bigger than the real March Madness in terms of how many countries it reaches. Very good stuff. Real innovative ways of teaching. Always happy to meet teachers who come up with different ways of teaching things that have been taught for a long time. Ben Ashby, out of the Zeeland Public School System, and an online Spanish instructor for Michigan Virtual. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you having me.